We've got a pretty sizable project we're going to be working on over the next couple of days. This is Cooper, our 22-year-old, 55+ pound sulcata tortoise. And the tote that he is in right now is what he has been sleeping in the evenings. When it gets too cold, we put him in this and he sleeps in the living room. And then when it gets warm again in the morning, he goes back out. So today, well, might be a couple of days, we are building and putting together a large tortoise house. Here's some of the material. We've got some more material behind me, and we're going to build it pretty large. It'll be a 4-foot by 8-foot tortoise house that we're going to divide in half. And so that way we can have one tortoise on one side and another on the other. So to help me out, I printed off some drawings of a dog duplex, which is now officially a tortoise duplex, and have made some changes to these drawings to make it make sense for us. Shout out to Wilkerdues LLC. These plans were $10 on her website, and she's got a ton of really cool videos on there. And this was a nice way to just get started with, hey, how am I going to build this, and what does this need to look like? What materials do I need? So we won't be building this portion of the house. It will look similar to this, and it has a really cool hinged roof, which hopefully I can pull off. While my last name may be Carpenter, this is going to be the most elaborate thing that I have ever built. All for you, big guy. Well, you and at least one other tortoise, but we are going to go ahead and get started, and let me go put him out in his enclosure so he can get sun and greens and lounge around. So Dad's saying he didn't sign the waiver, but that's not true. Muggs is here still supervising. It has now been at least a couple of hours, and well, we've got somewhat of a frame. Y'all, this is much harder than it looks, but not bad. This is going to be a really nice tortoise enclosure once it's done. And I'm going to get back to cutting, and definitely didn't purchase enough 2x4s, so this will probably need to be our first Lowe's run of the day. We'll see how many Lowe's runs we end up having to take. Dad decided he was done for the day, and we need more 2x4s, so here's what we've got so far. I know it's not quite perfect. We're not working with perfect as it is. These 4x4s were from an old horse pasture, so they're rough cut, so they're not quite 4x4s, so we're working with that. And then some of them are a little twisted, so you can see listen, it's not perfect, but the tortoises aren't going to mind. It just needs to be big enough to house them and keep them comfortable and warm. We also had a lot of Trex decking donated to us, and so we'll be using this as the floor of the house, which works out great because then we can spray it out. We don't ever have to replace it, so shout out to Trex in making this material. I don't think that they thought when they made it that it would be used in the bottom of tortoise houses, but here we are. I also wanted to update you guys on the tortoise house I had built maybe a month or so ago. So I told you guys I like it, and hey, listen, it worked decently, but once it gets below 50 degrees, it does not hold heat. So unfortunately, I would give it a very minimal star review long term, but like I said, it was very easy to build, and now we've got a bit of an eyesore because I've put 2 tarps over top of it. I also bought a 20 mil thickness tarp that should be here tomorrow that I'm going to replace these 2 with, so at least it won't look as janky out here, but this is what you got to do to keep these guys warm. So would not recommend, but Chewy was wonderful. I reached out to them, told them that it was not, the insulation does not do what it says it does, and of course they gave us our money back. But thanks for the money back, but we really wanted a product that worked. And of course they said you can go ahead and keep it. So at night, once the tortoises go in, I just throw the tarps back over, and then I put this board over the front too to just kind of help a little bit. But I'll give a quick hello and shout out to our tortoises here. Thor, you've got poop on your foot, buddy. He's lounging, having a good time. He's got poop on his foot. I don't know if you guys can see that. You are majestic. There's no other word for that. No, you're good. Don't move. Over here we have Pan. Oh, bad camera angle, Katie. You guys are getting my shadow. Hey, buddy. And then in the corner over there is Artemis. Sulcatas don't typically enjoy the company of other sulcatas, but we've had these guys out in the yard together and they didn't seem to care at all about each other, and they still don't. So they live together. And for those of you who know, Pan is super personable, super friendly. He's a good dude. Artemis is still very shy, but coming around. And big old mean Cooper, here he is. Hey, buddy. I was feeding him romaine yesterday and I was handing it to him like this, and then it dropped and I went to grab it and he tried to ram my hand. So, hey, buddy. Yeah, you're a bit of a punk, but we love you, and your shell's pretty, and you sure do have personality. There's Artemis. And I don't know if Creed is out at all today. Let's go see. I know this center one looks kind of gross. There's nobody in it right now. And Creed has already put himself to bed, so there's your update on the torts. Get a nice booty shot. Hey there, buddy. You're one good-looking tortoise. This foot doesn't have any poop on it. Hey, buddy. The people of the internet are gonna make fun of you for stepping in your own poop. We still love you.